How's it going, beautiful people? I am here with my love, Addison. This is going to be a total Q&A style video. We have not filmed one of these in like 2 years, so it's about time.
Question number 1. What's your guy's zodiac sign? Well, I'm a Scorpio.
I'm an Aries.
Question 2. How do you guys recognize in each other when one of you needs a little extra affection? And is there something specific you can do instead of telling it straight? Well,
good question.
I think for me, I kind of know when she wants a little bit of extra affection. Usually like when she's sick or just like feeling down or something like that. I can tell she's stressed. That's when I know that she is in need of a little bit of extra affection.
Addison's pretty much down for... Addison pretty much wants and loves affection all the time, but when he's feeling a little bit off and just having a not so great day, that's actually when he wants a little bit less affection. So that's why it's kind of the opposite, is when he's feeling low, I just tend to like back away, and when I'm feeling low, I like want so much love. So yep.
What is your relationship with food as a couple? Is it something very important that occupies a lot of space in your couple's life?
I feel like it doesn't really. We definitely have different diets, and we actually had a lot of other questions similar to this, like, do we eat the same way? Do we prepare our meals together? And we don't, for the most part. We pretty much make all meals separate, actually. Yeah. It's like a rare occasion to make meals together, but on occasion we'll like go out to a restaurant and eat together. For Addison, how was the AT after Alyse got off? Was it harder and lonelier, or easier and quieter? How do you think your experience would have been different if you had began it alone?
By the time Alyse had gotten off the trail, I was pretty far behind the last little bubble that was coming through. It was definitely quieter. I found a lot more solitude, a lot more like time to be alone, whether I like wanted to or not. There was just less people on the trail. I wasn't hiking with a partner. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It definitely gets lonely when you're kind of in like a bad headspace and all you have is like your own already in a bad headspace voices talking to you. Then it's like nice to have somebody to be able to tell you like, you know, it's okay, we're just gonna keep moving. At the same time, it does like offer a lot more like introspection time.
Okay, another question for Addison. What is it like to date a YouTuber?
Once I got over the paparazzi everywhere, constantly shooting photos for their tabloid magazines, it's just the same as dating anybody else, honestly. Social media is definitely a big and growing industry. We haven't reached a point where we can't just like, well, I was gonna say we haven't reached a point where we can't leave the house without like somebody recognizing her and coming up and like talking to us, but that happens that happens most of the time we leave the house actually. It just is what it is. I mean, it's nice to like meet new people and all of that. It doesn't really feel like weird or anything to me.
It just kind of is what it is,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What is the one thing that makes you smile when you think of the other person?
There's definitely a lot of things that make me smile when I think about Addison, but I feel like recently
apparently just my face.
I feel like recently it's his sense of humor. Like for some reason recently, or maybe it's like as time goes on, like our relationship gets funnier and funnier. Like we just laugh a lot together. I smile when I think of Addison's humor. When
thinking about things that like cause me to smile when I think about her, it's definitely just like the affection and like love we give to each other.
Aww.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Cuddles. Yeah. Question number 7. How does Addison feel about body hair?
How do you feel about body hair? Like mustache and like arms? Or...
Definitely talking about you.
Oh. Just kidding. Okay. How do you feel about it?
Doesn't really bother me at all. I definitely like smoother legs over hairier legs, but conveniently enough she does too.
There was a point in time when I did not shave my legs, but I currently do shave legs, and that is just a preference thing. I kind of prefer that it's smooth, and then my armpit hair, I do let that grow because it kind of provides discomfort when I do shave it, and pubic area is kind of like half and half because of the discomfort situation and the not, I guess, what?
Tell me more. Question R. What are some dreams and goals that you share and that you have individually? I guess we'll do shared dreams first.
Planting a garden and fruit trees.
Yeah, planting a garden or like having a farm, I think eventually is a goal for us. It's not like something we're doing in the near future, but it is something we want to work towards.
That is probably the main goal that we have shared as a couple, but I feel like also just being really healthy and fit, like we have similar fitness goals.
What about individual goals?
One of them, which I'm kind of about to meet, is releasing a positive affirmation coloring book. Also, I have a goal to do some public speaking, motivational style speaking around the world, and some other secret goals for the future.
Secret.
What are your goals?
Right now, the most relevant goal, or the one that I'm like closest to reaching right now, is I'm working on a book. I have a couple of other things that I'm going to be starting to work on next year. One that I've had for a couple of years now is to become a personal trainer. I'm not totally sure that I'm still moving in that direction, but it is something that interests me. Fitness and health has always been a big motivator for me, so I would like to be able to share that with other people as well.
Next question is, what are some things that you both do actively to help each other become better people? For Addison, or for me, helping Addison become a better person, I feel like I try to give him space to work on the things that he wants to work on. And also, whenever he's sharing an idea with me, I try to be really present and listen to what he's sharing and ask questions and just like totally be there supporting him in that moment. Addison doesn't know how to answer this question, so I'm gonna answer how he helps me become a better person. He holds me accountable. When I express that I have the desire or a goal to do something, to get something done, and I don't do that or don't follow through, he is there to remind me of what I talked about in like every aspect of life, like work and food and fitness. Is there any other ways you feel like you help me?
Well, I do literally help her with all the work that she does at Raw Alignment.
That's a different question though.
Question bananas. Did you and Addison have the same vision for life, and how did you manifest it together? I think we had a very similar goals and views for like an ideal life. For instance, like we both want to live on a large like plot of land so we can farm it and harvest fresh fruit every day and like live off the land a little bit more. I think we managed to manifest it together by like constantly building each other up.
So basically it's been a lot of give and take, and that's how we've managed to make this work together, is that when somebody is going through a slump in life, whether it's financial or mental, emotional, physical, whatever, the other person kind of like pulls a little bit of extra weight and is there to support the other person. And then if it happens the other way, we just help balance each other out. And yeah, in like every aspect of life, we try to help each other in that way. And I feel like that makes a big difference.
Question number Q. Now that you've settled down a little bit, do you think that you will get any pets? Are we settled down?
Are we settled down?
We only have a year lease on this place.
We have a year lease. I think it seems like we've settled down because until signing this year lease, we've kind of been bouncing around a bit for the last 2 years, kind of like unstable living conditions.
Yeah, but we're still renting. Like this is just
we'll
spot.
Revisit that like in the future if we want to be here permanently, but we're not thinking of it in that way. We also have a lot of travel plans for the future, and because of that, we don't really think having a pet or pets is the most logical thing. But I really do want a hypoallergenic Russian blue kitten, so if one of those comes my way, I might not be able to turn him down.
Question 12. What does Addison do for work?
He does me. I think what he meant was he works for Raw Alignment.
That's what I meant. Yeah, I work for Raw Alignment. I do a lot of video, I'm editing this video.
Recently, Addison's been doing a lot of filming and editing, like all of the cool vlogs that we have up on my vlog channel, and we are about to film morning routine, night routine, and like literally everything Addison is filming and editing, which is so helpful. It allows me to share more, which is amazing, and I am grateful for it. And like other behind the scenes Raw Alignment stuff, just to like keep everything rolling and growing. And he corresponds with businesses on occasion. He's helping me with the production of the coloring book, getting the pages like digitally edited, and yeah, just behind the scenes stuff really.
Question number 1. Are you and Addison ever going to have children or get married? Love you.
Love you too. It's not something that we're like consciously thinking about or planning for. I know that neither of us are ready for kids right now. We're just really enjoying life on our own, individually and together. And we're just not feeling kids in the near future, although I'm not opposed to it in many years down the road. I'm 23 right now, so I feel like it's not like crunch time or anything. And same thing with marriage. We just don't really feel that it's necessary at this point in time. We're really enjoying life as the way we are. And I think that we also agree that the label of marriage doesn't really change the dynamic in a relationship. And we kind of already act like we are married. We live together, we take care of each other, we support each other. Like, it's like we just don't have that label or find that it's super necessary. So another thing is that some of our friends have children, so we can fulfill our desire to be around kids and to play with kids and like all that good stuff, but not have kids.
I feel like right now we're just sort of living in the present moment. If we ever want kids in the future, then I guess that's something that we'll talk about then. But for right now, we're just enjoying life the way it is. Question number Bird.
Bird?
You and Addison have been together for quite some time. Do you guys ever have any disagreements, or are you peaceful at all times? We're peaceful at all times, bro. Namaste.
All times.
Okay, maybe not quite true.
Let's give you the lowdown.
Sometimes we get into arguments.
So, disagreements. We've definitely had a handful of disagreements throughout our relationship of like 3.5 years. I would say our disagreement level is definitely on the very low end of relationships.
Yeah, we don't like fight or
we don't
anything.
like yell at each other. Most of the time our relationship is pretty peaceful and it just flows really well.
Yeah, I think the kind of big secret is just having open communication with somebody. Whenever we would have something that might turn into a fight, we talk about it way before it ever gets to that point.
Yeah.
They're not fights, they're disagreements or discussions that we have to have. Like they're not anything serious because we don't let them get to the point where they need to be like super serious.
It's just like at a given point in time, either one or both of our needs are not being met, and we might show that frustration on the outside, but we try to just talk about it and let it disperse. Sometimes that means that we just need time apart and then talk about it afterwards, or sometimes we talk about it right when it's happening. So it kind of depends on the situation and what it is we're dealing with, and yeah.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching us answer some of the questions that you had about us. If you have any questions, maybe we'll do a future video similar to this.
Maybe.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody you think might be interested. And yeah, I love you.